Hey Shika J Love family, it's your girl Shika J Love, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I truly appreciate all the love and support. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe button and become a part of the Love family. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for coming on back. I appreciate y'all each and every time. So, let's be clear on today's video. This video is tailored towards the people who are thinking about starting their GLP-1 journey in 2026. Okay, they're still on the fence. They're a little frightened. They're a little scared. They don't really know if this is the way they want to go. They are worried about others and their opinions. This is for you today. I want to provide some tips and some tricks to help you along the way to kind of ease your mind. Now, if you have already started your journey and if you're at the beginning of it and you still have some questions, still want to hear other people's journeys and perspectives, then please, you're welcome to stay and listen as well. And let me preface this by saying I am not a medical provider. This is not medical advice. I'm just a girl. Okay, I'm just a girl who has lived this GLP-1 life for 2 years. February 21st will be my 2-year anniversary. And so I feel like I have a little bit of experience in this area to be able to come on here and share it with my love family. All right, so a few tips for you all today. First things first, when it comes to starting this journey or any journey, what is your why? What is your why? Why are you wanting to embark on this particular weight loss journey? Now, is it because you've tried, the Atkins diet, Weight Watchers, all these other programs, intermittent fasting, and those things maybe yielded some temporary results, but you gained the weight back? Or maybe you have food noise that you can't seem to get rid of, and it's a constant battle for you. What is your why for wanting to start this GLP-1 journey? Let's start there. And once you have that, I promise you, keeping that why at the forefront of your brain throughout this entirety of you taking this medication will keep you just pressing and going forward. Okay, even when the weight stalls or you may gain a little weight, but keep that why in the forefront of your brain and it will carry you through along the way. So once you get that medication, whether it be at your doorstep because you're utilizing a telehealth company, or whether you go to the pharmacy and you pick up your vials or your pens there may be a little level of fear and anxiousness that come over you about taking the shot. And some people keep the shots in the refrigerator for days and weeks on end. Just take the shot. Love family, just take the shot. Just take the shot. I promise you all will be well in the end. Don't let what you've read, you've heard, you've seen maybe when it comes to the side effects, do not let that discourage you, and do not let that prolong you from starting on your journey. When it comes to starting anything new, we can talk ourselves out of some stuff, can't we? We can block our blessings in various areas of our lives just because we sit there and we talk ourselves out of doing something. We talk ourselves out of going for that promotion, or we talk ourselves out of, losing the weight. We think, oh, well, maybe I'm just born to be obese and this is just who I've been, so this is just who I am. Just take the shot. It's okay. Just take the shot. And speaking of the side effects, right? We've heard of the nausea, the constipation. Some people have acid reflux, so on and so forth. And although those are real, okay, real side effects, that may not be your story. That may not be your journey. And I can tell you, as someone who has been on this thing for 2 years, I don't have nausea. Constipation, hey, all right. But once I get my water in me, I'm all right. I am all right. The fatigue, I struggle with fatigue anyway because I'm anemic. So I don't know. Okay, I'm always tired, but I always keep pressing and keep going. But those gut wrenching pains and all of that, now those are true side effects for some people, but again, that may not be your story. That was not my story. um, Everybody's body reacts differently to these meds, and that's with any meds, any of them. Side effects are real and they are a thing, but please, please, please just take the shot. You will be just fine. You will learn how to combat those side effects or adjust, right? You can adjust. Okay. So figure out your why and then just take the shot once you've decided that the GLP-1 journey is the path that you want to embark on. And speaking of getting the medication, just make sure you're getting it from a trusted source. I know there's people who go to med spas, people that do telehealth companies, people that go through their PCPs. But when it comes to the PCPs, the insurance may not cover these type of medications. So then you have to make sure your budgeting is right for paying for the pens or the vials out of pocket, which can get well over $1,000. So speaking of telehealth companies, let me just give a little shout out here to Mochi Health. So Mochi Health is a telehealth company. I've been with them for quite some time now. We are partnered in this thing. When I tell you, you can put a question in the chat, they answer you, no problems. They are quick in their response. The medication gets delivered to your door in as quick as 48 hours. As soon as it's approved, it's sent to the pharmacy, it's at your door as quick as 48 hours. I haven't had any issues with Mochi. The potency of the medication has been great. If you're interested in going the telehealth route, use my code here on the screen to receive $40 off your first month of membership. And get with the providers, talk with them, and they'll see if whether the semaglutide or the tirzepatide route or GLP-1 is right for you. Let's focus on protein and let's make it as natural as possible. So I myself don't eat meat, but if you are a meat eater, try to get your protein through meat sources. And then if that's not enough, or if you're like me, you don't eat meat, then get it through beans and legumes and various leafy green vegetables. And then after that, you can venture off into the protein shakes and protein bars and all of that. Now, you just got to do your research when it comes to the protein shakes and the bars and anything that's unnatural, anything that's not in its rawest state, right? The man-made, put together foods, if you will. Just make sure with the sugars and the guar gums and the artificial sugars, just make sure that those work for you and they're okay. Talk with your, again, medical advisor about that and see if those are something that your body can handle. Now, some people have gotten on the GLP-1s and they can't process the protein shakes and the protein bars because of all of the additives that's in them. So that's, again, a personal thing. And you just kind of have to try it to see if it works for you. But for some people, it doesn't. So at that point, if you can't do like the artificial proteins, then try to get it from a natural source to the best of your abilities. Because when you're on a GLP-1, you are not just losing fat, but you run the risk of losing muscle as well. Yeah. And so with that being said, being that we can lose muscle on this process because it's weight loss that's fast, right? Drastic. You want to make sure that you're strength training. You want to make sure you're strength training. Um, I've been an athlete all my life. I've been in the gym, no matter what size I've been. Um, and I'm here to tell you something. Whew, it has gotten tough, lifting weights because of the weight loss and the muscle loss that has occurred in my body. So I'm still strength training. I do incorporate that at least 3 times a week, but every day I do daily movement, whether that's going outside for a hike or just a walk, or I have a walking pad. I have a maxi climber. We have a little aerobics trampoline. We have multiple free weights, a vibration plate. We have the bands, all of that. If you can get a gym membership and that's more of your vibe, do that. Do that. But movement is very important on this journey. And movement is not just so we can lose weight. Movement is for mobility. Movement is for not necessarily today, but when you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. You see what I'm saying? I'm 32. So what I'm doing today is not necessarily for today, but I'm building these habits. I'm building up strength so that, when my children have children, hello, I'm able to pick up the babies and run around the yard and just enjoy them, and won't be struggling and huffing and puffing because I'm out of shape or because my body is in shock because I haven't been moving all these years. So just keep that in mind when you are working out, strength training, or just having daily movement. You are doing it for your future self and not necessarily for today. Okay? So prioritize protein, make sure you're strength training, or just making sure you're having some type of daily movement. If Pilates and yoga or water aerobics is your thing, that's great. That's great. Another thing I wish I would have did a lot more of is taking pictures. I would suggest taking pictures maybe twice a month, every 2 weeks, just to see how your body is transforming while on this GLP-1 journey, because it's hard to see yourself outside of yourself, sometimes. And you can get all the compliments in the world. People can compliment on your body, and that may or may not make you feel uncomfortable. I don't know. But they can tell you, oh, you're losing weight, you're losing weight. And maybe you stepped on the scale and was like, okay, yeah, I'm down 10, 15 pounds. But you look in the mirror and you don't see it. So, and that can cause you to become discouraged. But let me encourage you to not become discouraged. Take progress pictures. And it may be uncomfortable because we may not like how we look in the mirror. But love, family, I want you all to embrace your body no matter what stage it's at. Because just know that even though you are in this particular body today, you are working towards and you are determined to get to your body goal, okay, in the future. But you have to start. You have to start. And don't get discouraged and don't quit throughout the journey. Take those pictures for yourself so that you can compare and see the changes that are happening right before your eyes. But because we live in this body, right, and we see this body on the daily, we put our clothes on and all of that, sometimes we can't see that we lost 15 pounds. And 15 pounds may not be a drastic difference in your clothing, because it maybe have been water weight, or you may still be in the jeans that you were in. And so you don't really feel like you've lost that weight, but you have. Take the pictures and take the compliments. Another area that I've dealt with in this journey is supplements. Y'all, I'm here to tell you I have been influenced time and time again with the various supplements, the MCM or the the magnesium and all of this stuff that, you know, folks try to push and shove down our throats. I would say get continuous blood work done. Get blood work done. Do this before your journey. Or if you do your yearlies, you get your checkups and all that, you should have a record of your blood work with your PCP if you've been doing your regular checkups. Look at your blood work and talk with your PCP about it and assess it to see if there's an inadequacy in the blood. Like for me, again, I am iron deficient and vitamin D deficient. I know this, been knowing this. It's been a thing for years because I don't eat meat and a lot of other things. But because of that, I know that I have to take a daily iron vitamin. I have to take a daily iron pill and vitamin D pills. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to take me a multivitamin specifically made for vegan and vegetarians. Because again, because of the diet I've chose, I don't get a lot of the vitamins, minerals, nutrients that I need. So I have to combat that. I take what my body needs. I don't take what everybody suggests I take. So my advice to you is get that blood work done, talk it over with your PCP, figure out what you need, and then take those supplements. Those supplements are going to aid you along with the strength training, along with the protein. Speaking of protein again, I don't know how much your body needs. Talk to your PCP about that. Some don't need as much as others. Some bodies produce or can absorb protein better than others. So I just encourage you to talk to the professionals about that, and not us on the internet. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you may remember that I had a goal weight of about 160, 165, but now I'm just now realizing that having a goal weight is not relevant. It's actually very irrelevant because I can get to 160 or 165 and I may not look how I want to look. So for me, it's not a weight anymore. And I'm kind of sad that it took me this long to get to this place. And for me to be like, okay, it's not a weight. It's a look. It's a feel. So we all may have thought of a number that we think we'll be comfortable with. And it's kind of good to have that in mind. But I also don't want you all to get caught up on that number. And if you get to that number or don't get to that number, you're discouraged. On this journey, with your strength training, your water intake, your protein, and the supplements that are all tailored to you, think about how you want to feel. How you want to feel when you put that dress on, girl. Or guy, how you want to feel when you put on a tailor suit. When you walk in the room and you're strutting and you're walking with confidence, what does she look like? What does he look like? Is he confident for real, or is the confidence just a put on? Like, is it a facade? Sit down and write down what your ideal self looks like, what she talks like, what he talks like, what he walks like, what's the swag like, what can that ideal body do? Can it run a 5K, seamlessly? Can that body lift up 50-pound dumbbells? Like, what can that body do? And honestly, when you're gaining muscle, you can be 200 pounds with a six-pack, muscle down, and be the baddest version of yourself. And that's 200 pounds. I've seen it. I follow somebody who is 200 pounds, and she got it. She got it, you know. So it's not a weight per se. Let's not get all caught up on the scale, because the scale can have you discouraged. It can make you unmotivated. It can make you want to quit, because the scale fluctuates on a day-to-day basis, and depending on what time it is, the weight can go up or down. And that leads me to my next point about getting more than just a scale. So I purchased a Smart Body Fat Scale, and with this, all right, so this is more than just a scale. So I know you probably have heard of like a DEXA scan. You can go to some of the local like supplement shops, or some of the gyms may have a DEXA scan, or maybe your PCP has one in office. Some training gyms may have them, but anyway, they can be expensive. They can get up to about $75 per scan or so. So what I decided to do was invest in this scan, and I got it on sale at Amazon. I got it for $100. I think it originally, child, don't quote me now, but I think it originally goes for like 150 or something like that. And there are some comparable ones out there, like the Hume scale is one that I see a lot of, but the Hume scale is very expensive. But if you could do it, honey. If you could do it, do it. But as for me and my pocketbook, we're going to do this right here. This is what we've done. I'm going to show some data on the screen of my various scans that I've completed. But it has 28 essential body composition metrics: BMI, right arm mass, muscle rate, fat-free body weight, bone mass, ideal body weight, BMR, skeletal muscle, obesity level, water weight, fat mass, body fat, visceral fat, protein mass, body age, muscle mass, left arm mass, body weight, left leg fat, body type, protein, left leg mass, right arm fat, right leg mass, right leg fat, left arm fat. Did y'all get all that? So I'll put this here just so y'all can see all the things that this Smart Body Fat Scale measures. It says get a full body measurement with 8 electrodes in the advanced algorithm. Okay, and here it is outside of the box. Thank you. It's got a little weight to it. Hold on. I got my daughter right here, my oldest one. She's my assistant. Who is a little dusty child, but anyway, here is the scale. You step on it, and I'll show me actually getting a reading here in a moment. But you step on it, and you just lift up the bar here and put your fingerprints there. You know, it has left and right thumb. So left and right thumb, you're stepping on it centered. Don't move. And it's going to play a little song as it scans your body. And once the scan is complete, the song stops. It's so important to track more than just the weight. Again, just seeing that number on the scale is very discouraging. I know, for myself, because that would send me into a spiral sometimes. And I have an issue with binge eating. Had it all my life. Binge eating. And so even right now, the scale has gone up a few pounds. And I'm trying my best to stay encouraged. And it's a fight daily still. 2 years later, it's a fight because the medicine does not suppress like it used to. It does not stop you from consuming the whole plate of food like it once did. In the beginning, it's like the honeymoon phase, and you take a bite of this, a bite of that, and you're like, oh, I'm full, I'm good. Or sometimes you forget to eat, sometimes you forget to drink water. That's why dehydration is such a big thing in the GLP-1 community, because you just forget. It's like your brain turns off any signals to like eat and to drink. But now, being a 2-year veteran in the game, the suppression is not what it once was. So now I am having to rely more on discipline versus the medication. Now I'm a lifer, so I'm going to be taking this medication for the rest of my life. Um, um, because it does help me with inflammation, and it's helped me to get off of blood pressure medication, and it's helped me get out of that pre-diabetic range. So there's a lot of great benefits that have come along with being on this medication, and I'm forever grateful. And I know that without this medication, I would not have been able to sustain this weight loss for as long as I have been able to sustain it, even with the fluctuation of the few pounds that I've gained, lost. I'm just forever grateful. Before this GLP-1 journey, I did lose and gain 70 pounds twice. I did that naturally. I've always battled. I've always struggled. I'm going to plug in my video up here of my first ever video I posted on YouTube regarding my why and what made me start this GLP-1 journey. But I say all that to say it's very important to track on this journey, because if not, you would just be going based off of the scale and the weight, and it doesn't give you the full picture. So the InBody scans or the Smart Body Fat Scale gives you more of a big picture, and you can see why your weight is fluctuating. So I think it's a great investment. I really do. All right, let me see what else I got for you all. Now, as I said, I am a lifer, but I understand that some people only want to be on this GLP-1 journey for a short stint of time. There's no right, wrong, or indifferent here. Your journey is yours, and it's personal and tailored to you. So if you're not a lifer, I would say start this journey with an exit strategy in mind. Start this journey with an exit strategy in mind. Now, what do you mean by that, Sheikah? I mean, if you know that you only want to take this medication until you lose a certain amount of weight, or maybe you want to take it for 6 months, and then at that point you're just going to quit, period, no matter if you lost the weight or didn't. Have a plan in place. On this journey, you must do some things differently. Now, you don't have to eat completely different from the way you were eating prior to GLP-1, but there are some adjustments, family. There are some adjustments, okay? We can't just be having fried chicken and smothered covered steak and all this stuff like we've been having. We have to adjust, right? So that we can do this thing long term with or without the medication. So we have to be creating strategies and plans, and so that if insurance stops covering the medication, or if we can't afford the medication, or again, if we said we only want to do this for a certain amount of time and we were getting off of it, have a plan. What are you going to do when the food noise comes back? How are you going to handle your cravings? Are you going to give in to those cravings? Are you going to allow yourself to have alcohol once or twice a week, or once or twice a month? Like, these are things you have to be thinking about. When it comes to snacks, are you going to graze the kitchen and all of that like you were doing before the GLP-1? Or are you just going to go, are you going to utilize the new habits that you have set in place? What is your meal structure going to look like? Your movement schedule. Are you going to still do your 2 to 3 days of strength training with daily movement, or are you just gonna fall off? Emotional awareness around food. So as we're building those habits for our exit plan, if we do choose to get off this medication and not be a lifer, there are some programs out there that can help you. And may I suggest Noom? Now, this is not sponsored content, but this is just my experience and what I know. Noom helped me in so many ways. And as a matter of fact, I'm currently back on Noom because the food noise was coming back, and it was coming back hot and heavy. Hot and heavy, and I was ready to mow down the whole kitchen, okay? Eat it all down. So I decided to get back on Noom because, again, I was on it before for about 3 or 4 months in 2023. In 2023, and Noom was able to provide me with daily lessons about why I eat the way I eat, or my food triggers and what triggers me. And it was like a judgment free zone, and it gives you these daily lessons, and you can track your eating. It has like food categories. It has like green, orange, yellow, well, green, yellow, orange. But no food is off limits per se, but you do have a bucket of calories, based off of your weight, based off of your goal that you're trying to get to as far as the pounds lost and how fast you're trying to lose those pounds. So I would suggest Noom. It's really great. Some people are utilizing Nourish. I haven't utilized Nourish, so I can't really speak to that. But from what I can see on the reviews, it's really great, and it's really keeping the people on track, so that they have this like coach in their pocket, if you will. That's how I look at Noom. It's a coach in my pocket because it nudges me. Like if I haven't logged into Noom or opened up the app, it's like, hey, Rashika, come log your meals, or come on and get those steps. Or it just encourages me, in which I need that. So it's like a pocket trainer. There are so many different workouts in the Noom app. They have recipes. Again, you can track your water. You can track your weight. You log your food. It gives you those lessons. You have a community tab in there, so you can talk to other people who are on Noom, so y'all can just converse back and forth about your experiences. And then they have GLP-1 support in the Noom app. And Noom also provides GLP-1s now. I'm not sure about Nourish. I can only speak to Noom. But I just know those two are really great. Noom can be a little expensive, though. It can be a little expensive. So that's something you have to budget for as well. And it's just a lot of budgeting, child. If you're paying out of pocket for the GLP-1s and then you buy Noom, life, groceries, kids, everything going up. But if that's not something that you can do, of course, you can track your stuff with MyFitnessPal. I think that has a free version. And of course, Fitbit. If you have Fitbit, y'all always going to see me with this Fitbit, no matter what the outfit is, okay? Whether we at the gala or we at the gym, okay? We're going to have this Fitbit on. But Fitbit, the free version, you're able to track your food. Of course, it already tracks your steps, your calories, your workout. There's recipes in there as well if you do the premium. And then they have also some workout programs in Fitbit as well. So there's so many things. There's a plethora of options out here that are free and that are paid to help you on your weight loss journey, but also on your GLP-1 journey as well. So again, what's the takeaway, Sheikah? I done said all of that to say takeaways. All right. Write down your why. What's your reason for wanting to start this particular weight loss journey, especially with GLP-1? What's your why? Keep it at the forefront of your brain. That why will power you throughout this journey, and it will keep you encouraged and motivated to stay the course. Okay. 2, just take the darn shot. Take the shot. Do not wait. The side effects are going to be what the side effects are going to be. Your body is not everybody's body, so you may not experience what everybody else has experienced. Don't be scared. It's okay, because once the side effects come, you're going to handle it like a champ, and you're going to figure out how to combat those side effects or work with those side effects. All right. Choose the right provider. I'm going to put Mochi on the screen again. Mochi Telehealth Company. There's a membership. It's $79 a month, and the compounded semaglutide is $99 a month, and the compounded tirzepatide is $199 a month. But if you use my code, you can get $40 off your first month of membership. But if you're not going the telehealth route again, talk to your PCP, get your blood work done, go to one of these med spas, whatever you can do, whatever's best for you. Take your pictures, because we cannot see ourselves outside of ourselves sometimes, family. Take the pictures so that way you can see your weight loss. You can see how your body is recomping, where it's losing weight at, and just see how good you doing, girl or guy, on this journey. Goal weight is irrelevant. Let's write down what we want our body to do, right? What do we want it to do for us? Not those particular weight we want it to be, but do we want it to be able to run a 5K? All of that. And build an exit strategy. Build an exit strategy. If you're not a lifer, if you don't plan on being on a GLP-1 for the rest of your life, or money starts being funny, you can no longer afford it, or the insurance no longer covers it, plan an exit strategy. Plan on how you're going to move your body, how many times a week you're going to move your body, what you're going to eat, tracking your water, all of that. Noom, Nourish, Fitbit, MyFitnessPal, all the things. All right. So, child, I've been talking a long time, and hopefully that wasn't too long, and hopefully y'all are still here with me. If you are still here, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate you for staying this whole entire video. Let's see. I want to start putting emojis. I want to start having the comments include an emoji. That way I know you made it to the end of this video. If you made it, just put a red heart. Just to signify the love family. Just put a red heart in the comments. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please don't forget to type them down below. I do respond. I do talk back. Again, I appreciate you all so much for being here. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any tips for any of the folks that's looking for some tips on a GLP-1 journey, drop them down below as well. All right, y'all. Thank you. Love you so much. I'll see y'all in the next video. All right. Peace.